Well, I mean, this is a question. I mean, one of the things, when I put out on Twitter to ask for questions, this is one of the things that kept coming up time and time again. It's something I was going to ask anyway, which is your past with the Young Turks and your relationship with Cenk. Now, admittedly, I'm not subscribed to Young Turks, so I only see the bad stuff when somebody sends something my way to say, look what Cenk said now, and about new atheists, or about iron. What's your feeling on all that? I mean, what explains it, do you think?
Yeah, well, first, let me just say quickly about the new atheist thing. What he and many other people in this space have done with new atheists is literally the most disingenuous, dishonest, pure drivel that you could ever come up with. New atheists, look, first off, I don't even know what a new atheist is. I don't think anyone knows. I think, as it has been, maybe you can explain it to me, but as I understand it, all a new atheist is an atheist who is finally speaking up.
Yes.
Right? So atheists, by all estimations, have had no power ever, right? Really. Atheists have no power. They're not joined by any doctrine. Atheists, by and large, every time that someone tweets at me or sends me an email or something related to atheism, these are people who care about science and reason and humanism and secularism, all of the right things. I never get a crazy racist email from an atheist, ever. So what they've done by attacking the new atheists is such profoundly dishonest crap, because they're trying to make it sound like atheists are getting together and atheists secretly are racist. Yes. And as we know, Islam is not a race. But forgetting that, what they're trying to make it seem like, you see these atheists. And, it's funny because the regressives will always tell you that, don't punch down, punch up, fight the power. And yet they're attacking atheists. Now, the reason they're doing it with atheists is because atheists are not beholden to any ideology. So if we see a bad ideology, if we see something that literally I saw a video this morning of ISIS throwing a gay person off a roof.
They love that, don't they?
Yeah. So if we see that, and if we see the subjugation of women, I didn't even want to tweet it because it was so gross. But last night I tweeted a video that someone sent me of women in full burqas eating what appeared to be pasta in public and having to literally one had to go up under the face scarf. One had to pull it, halfway down. Like this is, I'm not judging. I don't even give a shit about anyone's religion. Believe whatever the hell you want, but don't tell me that's not subjugation of women. You know what I mean? I'm not defending those people because I'm anti-religion. I'm defending them because I'm pro-woman. I would like, you know what I mean? Like I would like everyone to be treated equal. Those women are not choosing that. They're just not. And you know what? Yes, maybe some are in the mode because they've been so limited in their experience of the outside world. But the bigger point to the new atheist thing is that they're attacking new atheists because they know we're not beholden to any ideology. So we're actually the most dangerous to their bullshit because we're supposed to call out bullshit because that's what atheism is all about. So that's why there's been this coordinated assault. And then, of course, they've just used Sam as the beacon for that. So destroy this guy. And I've said this many times, when they talk about Sam and when they try to destroy him and they lie about him and all this stuff, the reason that you and me and any of your listeners should be concerned isn't for Sam Harris. I think he's a really nice guy and doing good stuff. But it's not that we should be concerned about him. It's that we should be concerned that, guess what? If they get rid of him, well, then they're coming after us. Like that's the thing. So anyway, relating back to to your original question, look, I've talked about this before. Hopefully, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. I don't take any pleasure in talking about Cenk, or I didn't go to work for him or the company for it to end like this. You know what I mean? I intended it to be the best possible opportunity. By helping me build Rubin Report, they, allowed me to figure out what I'm doing. And I clearly know that now. So I'm appreciative of all that. That said, he's been a genuinely bad actor in this space. And, the only reason I know people want me to talk about it more, and I know people, and I addressed it on the Joe Rogan podcast. But, it's like on one hand, sometimes I think, well, I should invite him on the show to hash all this out. Except the problem is that he's acted so dishonestly. Even just yesterday, I just saw it this morning, another thing that he did about Sam this morning. There's a video, and I saw an article about it in Raw Story. It's like it's never going to end. And if you've acted consistently in bad faith, then what's the point of me having that sit down? So I would love to have one of these regressives, but I can't find one that acts in good faith. Which I guess is part of the definition of right. So I'm really asking for something that probably doesn't exist, But I would say this, that, for a long time, because our mainstream media was so mangled, people turned to online media, and there was a period in the early 2000s where online media was extremely important, and it was talking about things that weren't being talked about. What has happened with online media in general is that it's completely unchecked now. So you can say anything you want about anybody. You can write anything you want. And this goes for a lot of the big websites out there and a lot of these things. And there's no fact checking. There's no, CNN used to have a show, or I think they still do. It was hosted by Howard Kurtz at the time. I think it's hosted by a guy named Brian Stelter now, called Reliable Sources. And it was their show where each week they would sort of fact check the network and fact check the news organizations and things like that. And I know you could argue, well, how can a network show fact check itself? But at least there was some basic journalistic rules. These rules do not exist in the online world anymore. And because of that, it's created a huge mess. There's been this great opportunity and this great way of connecting people and getting truth out there. And at the same time, it's definitely come at a cost. I don't think that cost outweighs the benefits, but I think relative to getting good stuff out there, there's a huge problem right now, and unfortunately, they're part of it. And I would say that someone could argue, well, I'm in the online world too, and I hope that I don't think, let's put it this way, I don't think you could find any evidence that I've maliciously said something about someone that isn't true. And even if I've gotten facts wrong, we all make mistakes. I try to address it.
Yeah.
And I've never, I swear to you, that I have never intentionally lied on air, ever. Now, I'm not talking about just a person. I've never intentionally, misstated something or anything like that. I've tried to hold myself to a high account because that's what I would want from other people. And that doesn't mean I don't make mistakes, and that doesn't mean I'm not wrong sometimes. And I've changed my mind about things. But once you do that, once you open that door, and, people see it, and obviously thousands of people see it. I see what's going on, in the comment section and on Twitter. Once you've opened that door and people can, say, oh, here's one video where you did this, and here's the next video the next day where you did this, and you said this, and you said this, and you did this in front of somebody's face, and this is what you say behind their back. Once you do that, what's left? What's left? So I hope that answers your question in a decent way.
So, fuck Cenk is what you just said. So can I quote you on that?
Well, there's the quote now. Now it's gonna be a hashtag.
No, very, very thoughtful answer there.
Yeah, but I really do hope you hear me. Like, I don't get any pleasure in it, and I know people want it to be addressed.
Yes.
And that's why I'm willing. I said to you, there's nothing off limits here in terms of what we can talk about. But it's sort of an unwinnable situation. It's an unwinnable thing. By the way, for the record, since a lot of people have asked also, I always talk about how we play basketball every Sunday. But right literally the weekend that my show started, we were playing, and I really mangled my knee really bad. And so I haven't played for the last 3 months. So when a lot of this stuff has really blown up, and a lot of the back and forth and all this stuff, so we haven't seen each other in months. Although I was at an event called Politicon about a month ago in LA, and I did see him, and I tried to go over to him just to say hi, but he was being interviewed by somebody, so it didn't happen. So take that for whatever it's worth.